Thank you so much. You also talked about staff's welfare.
Yes.
Staff welfare is also very, very important. It's something that some employers play with. When you're supposed to pay your salary of your workers, you won't pay till the first week of a new month. Why? They have families, they have needs, no matter how small. And not that you, the employer, don't have the money, especially with private sectors. Not that you don't have the money, but you feel, okay, let me just use it for something else. Later, I'll pay them. They are humans, and of course, they are working for you. So it is wrong. Don't play with their salaries. There are other incentives you can also add. Please do so. Encourage them. Add money. When time for promotions, do that, because these are things that make you to boost your business and make them remain, even working for you as employer. Whether it's even in a house, your domestic workers, someone that cooks for you, takes care of children. At the end of the month, you will not pay. Say, don't worry, I will pay you. He or he has need. And you're putting your life of your children in danger without even knowing. So please don't play with all this. These are things we're just talking about general, aspect of it. They are things to talk about. Then you workers too. Remember that if your employer puts all these things in place, he encourages you. What does he expect from you? Every business is for profit maximization. That's every business want to make profit. And so you need to put in your best to make profit so that your salary will be sustained. If you play with your job and money is not coming in, of course, the employer will not have money to pay your salary. So you can see that as the employer needs you, so you also need the employer. You work to need that synergy will need to be there for the business to move on. Take somebody's business like your own, because tomorrow you might even want to open your own business. And you need workers too. So what you do to A, they will do to you.
Absolutely.
That's how life is. So people don't understand. When you're working with somebody, put your best there. Stop stealing, stop all this pay free, stop cheating. Always the first thing we think just to cheat, how to cheat the person. Let's do away with all this. Because you also aspire for greatness in future. And you're not going to remain there forever. You also grow to some point. You want to set up your own, and then that you can imagine. So please let us always behave well. Then lastly, for me, say, how do you promote and encourage quality and productive services?
So the worker is absolutely important. We've touched on a number of those issues. You have said them. It's important for you to keep your workers happy. I have a friend that shared a very funny story. He said to me, well, if you love your wife, make your nanny happy. It's important that the workers in your organization, and this applies even if you don't own a business. I mean, I'm glad you used the example of nanny and workers, so that people don't think that if I don't own a business, these things don't apply. No. It applies to your home.
Yes.
Right? It applies to where you have anybody, even people doing things as little as you might think.
Your drivers, your
cooks. Make sure that they feel appreciated. They feel appreciated. Because the day they are not there, that's when you know the importance of what they do.
Exactly.
Okay, so in an office I used to run some time ago, we always left the key with a particular cleaner. That cleaner now fell ill. And that day, everybody came to the office, and up to like 9 or 10, everybody was outside. Because that cleaner, and that was the day everybody understood the importance of that cleaner. Because things that were meant to be done, everybody was locked out of the office. I mean, that day we could only solve it because I had gone for a meeting, I came back and had my own key and I opened the office, and that's when everybody entered. So everybody within an organization has no matter how inconsequential you think it is very, very important. So appreciate them. When they do a good job, appreciate. When they do something that is wrong, correct.
Yes.
Don't overlook it. Correct it. Because sometimes what we sometimes do is we will let it fester. And then one day we'll not just wake up and say, oh, I'm tired of you. Get out. The person may not even know that what they were doing was wrong. So you need to be able to ensure that you have systems in place, you have policies in place, you have people in place that will always ensure that this is our standard. Anytime it starts to drop, you correct it. Anytime you periodically, you retrain, periodically, you communicate, and of course, you appreciate. And of course, like you have said, salaries on time, and as needed, increase the salary. As the business grows, as the business improves, make sure you are sharing it with your workers as well.
All right, thank you so much. Like we have all noted, the employers will have a very big role to play in this. as well as the employees, because it's the two-way. So employers do what you're expected to do. Employees also play your own role. And you find out that the job is so simple for you, and then there will be growth. Whereas one of them is not working, well, the organization does not grow, just going round and round. Anything that moves around and does not go forward. And so it is very, very important. We'll take a break. Now come back. We continue question and answer session. Vivid view.
See and do it.
Mosu Mark David. My question: in situations where workers are willing to carry out duties and give their services as supposed, but their bosses or the management is responding to them in a demeaning manner, don't you think, sir, it will lead to poor service delivery?
I am Kayode Dane. Please, what can workers do in situations where their company fail to adequately account for their monthly deducted pensions?
Mr. Champion, sir, what advice can you give to business owners whose service delivery is negatively affected by environmental factors?
I'm Toby. Managerial abuse of office. How do workers deal with it?
Welcome back. A lot of questions from the audience. Please provide the answers. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much for the questions. So I think I'll take the first question that's centered around when you have what is basically a toxic work environment. How do you deal with that? How do you ensure, in spite of the poor output? So the first thing I will say is, considering the climes that we live in now, you know, we have Gen Zs, we have millennials, we're all talking about mental health. It's important that we properly define what a toxic work environment is. Because the flip side of that sometimes is there's also an entitlement mentality, that there are some certain things you want to expect. Now, all this can be simply sorted out if some certain things are already put in place. Expectations are clear. The mother of frustration is expectation. When expectations are very high and they are unrealistic, frustration will start to set in. So it's important that a worker understands what is expected of him and what is promised. Now, it is wrong for a superior to demean you or for a superior to abuse you. I mean, every organization, no matter how small, no matter how large, will certainly have policies, even if they download it off the internet, that will say, okay, abuse is not allowed. So if there is abuse, certainly that is wrong. So it's important that as a worker, if you're in that kind of situation, please do not hesitate to bring it up. Even if they don't have an HR, there will be an immediate supervisor or a supervisor to that supervisor. Make your complaint known. Make it well known that this is what is going on. And if they refuse to act on it, then brother, sister, for your own benefit, please exit yourself.
The owner of the job may not even be aware what is going on, that you are being maltreated or,
That's why complaining is important.
You can send, a mail anonymous, isn't it? And you complain. You wouldn't know who sent. Okay, please, I want you to look into what is going on. And he's wise enough to say, okay, start bringing them to find out what is happening. I mean, you're not necessarily putting your name, just to see here, because you love what you're doing. You love to work in that company. You understand what I'm saying? So don't just say no, because truly, some managerial staffs are really funny. They're really funny because they feel, I don't know whether they forget that they also started from the scratch. Even if you're a university, graduate, you're just left and you're being employed. And you meet somebody who has been working there as a school staff, but you have been there for 5-6 years. I mean, you can learn from that younger because practically he knows it. Not to not come on board because don't you know I'm your manager now. No, you can learn. Work together with the person for the improvement and the sustainability of that company. That's how it's supposed to be. But where we have this kind of something we just mentioned, please report to a more superior officer to that person. Don't just walk away. Because if you walk away, that same character remains with the guy. Next person comes to may also, be victim as well. So I think that's the best.
Walking away is a final option.
That's the last resort.
That's the last resort. If nothing else works.
Okay.
This is VVView.